Hey everyone, it's Blisshead here. We got Ryan and Keegan from Blisshead, and we wanted to have a quick chat with all you guys about the inspiration behind our songs, behind the songs from our new record, Resetter. So hang out with us here for a second, and we're just gonna go through all the 10 songs off of our record and just give you the behind the scenes of what inspired the songs and why we made the songs. Alright, so the first song off of our record is called Vomit's Distortion. And I feel like, yeah, it's got the word vomit in it, probably not that pleasing. But I feel like the inspiration behind this song was that I literally just forced you to just make a Blood Brothers song. Like
I was actually just about to say that. It was completely and unabashedly a very amateur attempt at trying to sound like the Blood Brothers.
Vomit's Distortion was a song that you and me literally wrote before we even had a band.
Yeah,
do you remember how old this song is? This song is actually like 10 years old.
And we've tried it with different musicians. Band. And then it never ends up making it into a set list or getting recorded. So it's always just kind of lived on my SoundCloud.
Exactly.
You know?
And it's so great that we finally let this song like come to life on a record, finally. I feel like when I was recording the song vocally, it lost a lot of the Blood Brothers-ness, and I was like upset about it. Mm-hmm. I wanted it to sound like a Blood Brothers song, but we can't because we're not Blood Brothers. And then the second track off of the record is our song Grotesque Futures. When I was writing these lyrics, I thought they were like kind of romantic, but then I started realizing when I went back and listened to the lyrics that I feel like they're more like serial killer-ish.
Yeah, it depends on the perspective. I guess I could see that.
And I always thought it was just like this sexy romantic song, and then I was like, oh, it sounds pretty scary.
We don't know what he's saying, and sometimes we never do.
I feel like just my instinct is that I don't want to make stuff catchy. And then originally a lot of my vocal takes were way like more screamy and aggressive. And I feel like you did a really good job at like pulling me down and being like, Keegan, make it a little catchier.
Yeah.
You know, and then
this is a song that has to be that way.
Yeah.
Having a softer side in being able to do both, that gives us more dynamicism as we're in more intensity.
Dynamicism?
Dynamicism.
Is that a word?
Yes, of or pertaining to dynamics. So
okay, Mr. Dictionary.
So we're being dynamic, we have dynamicism. Yeah. Now you're making me trip over my words. That's a tongue twister. Try saying dynamism.
Dynamism.
Not messing
Dynamism.
And intensity. And so being able to go up and down and up and down, and really being able to pull people in different directions. So
the third song off of the record is Xena.
That's Zorro.
Oh. Xena. This was a very old song, actually. Not super old, but at least 4 years old, right?
It's very cacophonous, and there's so much energy to it, and it's also really easy to play without staring, so that gives you opportunities to engage with the crowd. So for most of that song, I don't have to look at my guitar.
I think that the song itself, it just the
repetition,
and that melody forced me to write like pretty repetitive lyrics, which I thought was a bad thing at first. But then after that, I was like, well, this is a really good thing because it's just stuck in your head from the get-go, from the start to finish. That melody and those words, it's not enough. It's just stuck in your head the whole time.
There's a friend of ours, and after the first time he saw us, that was the song he said that he liked the most.
Yeah. What were you inspired by with the guitars on that one?
Glassjaw.
Glassjaw, yeah.
Yeah.
And the fourth song off of our record is called Little Heaven, Little Hell. And I feel like we wrote this song right after we came back from the Circus Survive concert. And I think that concert really had a huge impact on us.
Yeah, I had recently seen them for the 10th anniversary of On Letting Go, which was just reinvigorated my love for that band and how creative they are. Then getting to see them again and hearing the song Get Out from Blue Sky Noise.
I feel like, yeah, we shamelessly kind of pulled all of what we love about Circus Survive and like threw it into one song, you know?
I used that as a way to get started, and it kind of became its own animal as I moved through it.
Little Heaven, Little Hell has one of the softest moments on the whole record.
Yes.
Its chorus is just like super subdued. We call this song like the proggiest song off the record, basically.
Yeah.
We pretty much just think, and that was one of the reasons why we thought we weren't going to make it a single, was because we thought it was too progressive for people. but it turns out that I think this is one of people's favorites, actually.
Alright, next track is number 5, which is Shiner. And this is an old Blisshead song that we kind of gave new life.
This is one of those songs that I wrote. This is Ryan always takes my very strange guitar riffs that I write and makes them sound nice and better. But this is the one song that survived Ryan's changing.
Didn't change a thing.
And I always think of this song as like a surfer rock hardcore song. I don't know if you hear that, but I always think it sounds like if Beach Boys was literally
the chorus. Yeah,
it's so heavy.
It has like a bounciness to it.
Again, this is another song that I think lyrically is a little deranged again. The next track is track 6, called Hiss Like Everyone Else. And this song wasn't gonna make the record, huh?
Nope. That ship had already sailed, and it somehow turned around.
Yeah.
And crashed into the shore.
I feel like it's good that we put this song on the record because people really love it, and I think this is like our, I call this song like our glam rock song. Rod, our bassist, calls it the Motley Crue song.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely embodies that classic rock vibe that we grew up listening to, stuff that our parents listened to. We
didn't want it to be too classic rock, so we threw that weird bridge into it. We were originally writing like a very Jesus Lizard style song, and then we kind of stuck it into a classic rock song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it bridges the gap between all the heavy stuff and all the classic rock stuff.
It gives you a break from all the heavy hitting stuff, lets you breathe and just enjoy a nice groovy song that you might hear on the radio, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna be on the
in
radio.
Some weird alternate universe.
Yeah. The coolest universe ever.
Yeah. Next we have the title track, Resetter.
I think that this song is, I think there's a real good reason that this song is the title track, and I feel like this song really embodies your and my songwriting. And
I was going to say the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's a perfect representation of kind of what our sound is.
Yeah.
It goes through it goes through a really heavy like breakdown bridge. You've got a really beautiful, clean bridge section before that.
In the vocal booth, this was the song I was most inspired with when I was doing vocals. And lyrically, with this song kind of really embodies the whole theme of the record, honestly. It's kind of just, you know, lyrically, all the songs stemmed from this one. I feel like this was kind of the birth of the idea of the record.
During the writing of the album, that was the one we always started working on first because it was the most fun to play. This is the most rehearsed one, isn't it? Yes, because of that. Yeah, because of that, I would definitely say that because that was the one we would always play first. And ironically, I was listening to the Jean Bonnet, and this is when I realized that we unknowingly had been inspired by them.
This song just defines us, you know? That's the plain and simple there. Track 8 is Be Horrified. This was another song that yours truly right here wrote. This one definitely, Ryan put a lot of his riffs in, so it's half and half riffs between me and Ryan, but I started with this one, and I remember I was listening to a lot of Refused. I really don't think I liked this song very much, and this was another one of the songs that we wanted to cut. And again, it's good that we didn't, because there's a lot of people who really love this song.
Yeah, it is very unconventional, and I think a lot of that stemmed from you taking that that refused, binge that you were on, and saying, I'm gonna make a riff out of one note.
Yeah.
And literally, that's it's all one note. And I feel like the ending to Be Horrified kind of pays an homage to our years in Fennec the Fox.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the ending to that sounds very Fennec-y.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that was one thing I realized.
Yeah.
And also, I'd like to give a shout out to Brian George for helping us write that song when he was sitting in on drums for a little while during the writing process.
We tried out a lot of drummers, and Brian was one of the drummers that we were gonna keep, but he moved away. We couldn't figure out how to arrange this freaking song. We just could not figure out how to arrange it. And then one day,
so many different orders.
And one day, Brian just at band practice was just like, "Do it like this," and
it worked.
And it was just, oh, there it is. There's the arrangement. Brian, we miss you.
So for the next song, we have number 9, which is Livestream the Apocalypse.
It's okay, it's not okay. Even God sit down to pray.
This one is short, it's sweet, it punches you in the face. It's over before you know it, but you're glad you went through it.
The start of the song was inspired by the Blood Brothers, because I wrote the riff, and everything I do is literally just Blood Brothers worship.
I picked it up, I ran with it, slid in a little groovy chromatic Every Time I Die riff for the chorus. It just goes off the rails and gets really heavy, like Fear Before the March of Flames or Botch. There's a little bit of that influence
Daughters,
in there.
maybe
A lot of
Daughters,
Daughters, especially when you start hitting those panic chords and I start adding octaves and the delay comes in. And
Lyrically, this song, I literally just wrote it basically about nuclear apocalypse, basically.
Yeah.
But I kind of did it in like a quirky way that I really like. I really enjoy the lyrics in this song. They're pretty deranged. It gave me a chance to say the word dick in a song. And the last song on the record, the 10th song, is our song Hunt Me Down. We wrote this as we wrote a whole record, and we're just like, we need a single,
yeah.
And so we took one of my melodies and we made a really catchy chorus, and then it burst the whole song.
Which is, I think, the first time we've ever done not lyrics, but used vocal melody as a starting point.
I think what's really interesting about this song is that we intended to make a single, but it happens to be the longest song on the record. So like, it's just funny how we try to make a single and then we screw it up anyway because we make it 6 minutes.
And we talked about like how we could like cut it down and
make a single edit.
And I was a little open-minded to it, but when I started thinking about it, I'm like, no, I don't want to take anything out. It's fine just the way it is. And I think that's what makes a great ender, because you could just take that outro and you could just keep it going and going and going.
And then I never expected we were going to end the record with this song. I thought we were going to open the record with this song.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
And then, but it became the closer, and it made so much sense once we put it there. All of a sudden, I was like, oh, this ties up everything, you know? So in conclusion, there you go. Those are the inspiration for the 10 songs off the record. We wrote a weird record, and I'm really happy about it, and I'm really ready to write the next one.
Well, we've already started.
We have
to say anything.
No, I'm just kidding. We kind of wrote the album because the band just spiraled into nothingness, and then we kind of revived it, like resetting.
Hit the reset button.
Yep, and we wanted to just reset Blisshead and bring it back to life, and I really love what we created.
Yeah.
And thank you for all just being a part of our first record, like all the support we've gotten and everybody who loves it is just awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that you guys are all around to listen to the silly music we make. So we're really just excited that we're out there gigging and making music for you guys.
And your eyes bleed out. My back's against the wall. Where'd you expect me to go, baby? Take it easy, baby.
Hey, Bliss babies.
Hey, Bliss babies. Hello, hey, Bliss babies. I can't say that.
Hashtag Bliss babies.
Oh, goodness.